In the Trump era, the US closed its doors to Caribbean workers. But now, Americans are flocking to the Caribbean in droves. With a record 19 million Americans expected to set sail on cruises this year, 72% are heading straight for the islands. It's not about work or asylum anymore. It's about sun, rum, and escaping rising costs. While the Caribbean faced tighter US restrictions, Americans found a cheaper, easier paradise just a short flight away. In this video, we're diving into the political flip-flop that's made the Caribbean the hottest vacation spot for Americans, and what this tourism boom means for both sides of the border. Let's find out. Trump-era policies, including restrictions on Caribbean workers, painted a bleak picture for the region. But now, despite those barriers, Americans are flocking to the Caribbean in droves. During Trump's first presidential term, the Department of Homeland Security banned Haitian individuals from obtaining H-2A visas for agricultural work and H-2B visas for non-agricultural work, citing, quote, high rates of refusals, high levels of fraud and abuse, and a high rate of overstaying the terms of their H-2 admission. In 2020, he suspended H-1B work visas for skilled workers and restricted H-2 seasonal work visas for hospitality and agricultural sectors, where many Caribbean workers were employed. Similarly, he expanded the public charge policies, allowing officials to deny visas or green cards to anyone likely to use certain public services like Medicaid. During his first term, Caribbean visitor and student visa refusal rates were also higher than those of wealthier countries. In fact, reports state that over 32% of Latin American and Caribbean applicants were denied. Fast forward to his second term, and Trump has raised the stakes, deliberately targeting Caribbean workers and residents in the US. Through executive orders, he has attempted to end temporary protection status for Haitians, revoke humanitarian CHNV programs for the Caribbean diaspora, restrict birthright citizenship, employ inhumane deportation and enforcement measures, evoke CBP One App parole and work authorization, closed family reunification programs for Caribbean nationals, and implemented, quote, extreme vetting and travel restrictions for Caribbean countries. The last one is particularly interesting because the US has now issued travel warnings for several Caribbean nations, including Cuba, Trinidad and Tobago, and the Bahamas, due to security concerns. The US Department of State says that it is concerned about crime, political unrest, and deteriorating diplomatic relations with Cuba and Trinidad and Tobago. This tirade is ironic considering the, quote, diplomatic problems were caused by Trump's tariff plans. US travel advisories can significantly affect US-Caribbean relations since the region relies heavily on American tourism. At the same time, the US government is considering suspending the visas of Cubans and Haitians. This new travel ban could also enforce a probationary period on Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia. But here's how the script flipped. Apparently, Trump has the lowest 100-day job approval rating of any American president in the last 80 years. Turns out 61% of Americans disapproved of his handling of the economy and accused him of straining relations with other countries, while 58% believed he wasn't looking out for the average American. Most people don't care how much the stock market flip-flops in a day, but how inflation and rising cost of living affect them. And what better way to forget about the troubles at home than a cheap trip? Now, you could book a $5,000 per night summer getaway in the south of France, or you could book a premium Caribbean villa with ocean views for 1/10 of that price. Once presented with that comparison, travel advisories be damned. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Thank you. Caribbean tourism has been recovering nicely since COVID. According to a report by the Caribbean Tourism Organization, the Caribbean welcomed an estimated 34.2 million visitors in 2024. This marked an increase of 6% from 2023. the Dominican Republic was the region's most visited destination, welcoming 8.5 million tourists. Surprisingly, the United States remains the top source market for Caribbean tourism, with approximately 17 million arrivals in 2024. While the Trump administration wants to tighten border controls and enforce travel bans to bring this number down, Canada is offering visa-free travel to Aruba, the Bahamas, St. Lucia, the Dominican Republic, Grenada, and more. Canadian Caribbean marketing partnerships are offering great hotel discounts and cheap flights. And it's safe to say that Canadians who recorded 3.3 million arrivals in 2024 will easily surpass that number this year. The COVID pandemic marked a seismic shift for the tourism industry, but none of the tourist subsectors were impacted more than the cruise industry. About 14 million Americans went on cruises in 2019, but in the following year, that number dropped to less than 3 million during the pandemic. However, there was a recovery. By 2022, the cruise volume had rebounded to 12 million, 84% of 2019's level. And in 2024, there were 33 million international cruise visits in the Caribbean, 19 million of which were from Americans. Despite U.S. travel bans and the State Department's cautionary advisories, the sector is expected to grow by 5 to 7% in 2025. In April, Bloomberg reported a 26% year-on-year increase in summer bookings. Jamaica recorded $4.3 billion earnings in 2024 compared to $1.2 billion the year prior. The Bahamas witnessed an annual 16% increase in total visitors, and Grenada recorded an 18% increase. The upward trend is clear. Between Jamaica's carnival becoming a social media darling and the Dominican Republic investing in a $6.75 billion tourism package, the Caribbean tourism industry is expected to expand by 2 to 5% in 2025, and Canadians are expected to offer 10 to 15% of that growth. Caribbean resorts offer a cheaper alternative to their overpriced and overcrowded European counterparts. In 2025, the average daily rate at luxury hotels decreased by 6% compared to last year. These rates will continue to decrease as major U.S. carriers and discount airlines expand their networks to cover more Caribbean sites. For instance, the fares of Dominican national carrier Arajet are often more affordable than U.S. domestic travel. Over the next few years, the Caribbean is expected to emerge as the go-to luxury destination for globetrotters. As the Caribbean bounces back from political restrictions and global challenges, it stands as a symbol of resilience and opportunity. Despite the hurdles, it continues to be a beacon for tourists seeking affordable luxury and unforgettable experiences. With the Caribbean tourism industry growing stronger every year, it's clear that its future is bright. We'd love to hear from you. Do you think the Caribbean can maintain its growth despite the political challenges? Or do you think U.S. travel policies will have a lasting impact on the region? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Also, check out our video discussing Trump's travel ban on the Caribbean countries. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update from us. This is Caribbean Focus, and we'll see you in the next video.